Now, around the West, you've got right-wing parties getting stronger and stronger. I mean, you had the election in Italy, for instance, and in Holland, the European Union a couple of weeks ago. And you've now got Trump, a favourite in the US election. But there is one big exception. In less than 24 hours, Britons are going to go to the polls, and if opinions are right, the Conservative government of Rishi Sunak is going to be absolutely decimated, replaced by the Labour Party of Keir Starmer. Joining me from London is Sky News host Laura Jays, salivating over the results of what's going to be an absolutely historic night. Laura, it's just incredible what the polls are telling us. I'm not sure the polls are going to be inaccurate this time. Give us some idea of how bad they are for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives.
Yeah, look, there's always that degree of difficulty with polling, but there has been some pretty huge sample size, and the polls have consistently said that this is going to be diabolical for the Tories. For around 18 months, Labor has been leading the Tories in double digits. It's been as high as 20%. The last couple of polls in the last couple of days, Andrew, have said that that might be down to 15, but it's not going to matter. We're talking about a 650-seat parliament behind me. Some of the estimates are that the Tories could get just 20% of the vote, and that would translate to just 13% of the seats. Another statistic that will make your eyes water, Andrew, is that of the 14 million votes they got at the last election, they're set to lose between 7 and 9 million of those. You have to remember, this was a snap election. Rishi Sunak surprised many people. This is a London summer, believe it or not, a summer election. A lot of Tories go away, so there will be a high postal vote. 1 in 6 people expected to vote. So you have to really question some of the wisdom of the strategy of the Tory campaign. On that note alone, why bring Boris Johnson out in just the last 24 hours when a lot of Tories would have already voted? You also got the Reform Party and Nigel Farage, and they're splitting that Tory vote. So, look, he just can't catch a break, but I've got to say he's putting on a pretty brave face.
Look, it's just incredible, Laura. I mean, we all know in Australia, you don't go calling an election, a snap election, when you're actually way behind. You've got to wait for something hopefully to turn up. And, for him to have For the Prime Minister to have called it in the middle of a rainstorm, so he looked like a drowned rat. I mean, talk about symbolic. Now, the British Labour Party has been pretty extreme at times. What's it now like under Keir Starmer, or doesn't it matter? It's all about anti-conservative.
Well, it doesn't really matter in many ways, and it's a pretty small target campaign on both sides. And Keir Starmer, he's a relatively new politician. You have to remember that. He only entered politics, or the parliament, I should say, around 10 years ago. He became leader 4 years ago, and this was all being planned when Jeremy Corbyn was still the leader. I get the sense at the moment, Andrew, that, the Labor Party really is holding together because they're salivating because they know that they're going to get across the line in a very big way, and the results will come thick and fast and early tomorrow night. But it's what happens after. Some want to stay this kind of middle path, but there's extreme elements of the left that no doubt will be agitating. I mean, I think it was back in 1998, Gordon Brown spoke nothing of the independence of the Bank of England at the time, and 2 days after the election, 2 days after he won, he announced that. So I think there's a lot of commentary and editorials at the moment from the Financial Times, for example, saying, the Tories squandered their opportunity over the last 14 years. Keir Starmer needs a chance, but not to say that they're worried about how interventionist he might be. So a lot of it is you've got to wait and see. And the Tories are saying, well, you might not have to wait that long. Don't give them a supermajority. At least leave us with a decent rump in Parliament so they can oppose some of the policies that they're warning about.
Good luck. Just quickly, Laura, I mean, I think this election is going to once again prove that our political system of voting is much better. Preferences. If your candidate doesn't go up, your preferences go to someone else. And because here you've got the Reform Party and the Conservative Party splitting the vote in a first-past-the-post system, which is going to absolutely devastate them both. So giving an outsized majority to the Labor Party. Is there any talk in Britain that this system's got to change so the preferences can flow?
No, you know what they're like here? They love their system, even though it is deeply flawed. You're right, the first past the post system makes it really difficult. And, you know, Reform UK, 1 in 6 people may vote for Reform UK. That could be about 15% of the vote, but they still could end up with 0 seats. So that's what the system is like here. But you're right, they're splitting the Conservative vote on the right. And you saw Boris Johnson come out yesterday late in the campaign. He was attacking Keir Starmer. He had a really great line. He said, "Don't let the Putinistas deliver under the Corbynistas." You know, obviously Jeremy Corbyn isn't in the party now, but he's trying to enact those ghosts from the past and warn people about that. Yeah,
Laura,
it is too late.
Go.
It is too late, but it'll be very interesting.
Great stuff. I'm so glad you got over your jet lag to come on for us. I really appreciate it. Great view behind you. Bit cold though. Laura Jays, thank you so much.